See if you can spot the theme here. We're going to start in Missouri, the field running to be the Republican candidate for U.S. Senator in Missouri. It includes the state's disgraced former governor, Eric Greitens. Now, the reason Republican Eric Greitens is the former governor of Missouri is because he was forced to resign amid multiple scandals, including allegations that he forced a woman into a non-consensual sexual encounter, photographed it, and then blackmailed her about it with the photos. That's why he was forced out of the governorship in Missouri. He has since decided that he's over it. The people of Missouri should be too. And so he's jumped into the U.S. Senate race in that state as well. Since jumping into the Senate race, Mr. Greitens has faced brand new allegations from his ex-wife. She says that he physically abused both her and their children. Wow, things like this sort of keep coming up with this guy. Nevertheless, an internal poll the Greitens campaign shared with reporters today purportedly shows him leading the Republican primary field for Missouri Senate. If you believe their poll, that guy with that record is the leading candidate to be the Republican nominee for the United States Senate from Missouri. That's Missouri. How about Georgia? The leading Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in Georgia is this guy. His name is Herschel Walker. Mr. Walker's ex-wife accused him of physically abusive and extremely threatening behavior during their marriage, including holding a pistol to her head and threatening to, quote, blow her brains out. According to documents obtained by the AP, several years after their divorce, Herschel Walker's ex-wife secured a protective order against him after he repeatedly called her sister and her father, threatening again that he was going to kill her. So that's the Republican Party's leading candidate for Senate in the great state of Georgia. How about in the great state of Pennsylvania? Well, not only is their leading Republican candidate for governor a guy who was literally part of the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, but the guy he endorsed for lieutenant governor has just been ordered by a judge to stay away from his own home after his wife obtained a protective order over claims of physical and mental abuse. She accuses him of stalking her at work and screaming at her, grabbing her by the shirt, and threatening to kill the family dog. Okay, Pennsylvania Republicans. How about Ohio? Republican voters in Ohio's 9th congressional district have been getting a lot of attention over the last few days because they just handed the Republican nomination for one congressional seat to another guy who was at the January 6th riot. But in the 7th congressional district, a former Donald Trump staffer won that Republican primary a few days ago as well, even after he was publicly accused of assault by his ex-girlfriend. And in his case, the ex-girlfriend making the allegations of physical assault was the Trump White House press secretary. A senior member of the Trump White House says he physically abused her. Doesn't seem to matter. Trump endorsed him. He won his primary with 70% of the vote. And I know this almost sounds like I'm being hyperbolic or I'm like rounding up to the next worst thing when you line all these guys up. But honestly, that's just all the facts. We haven't even gotten to this headline out of Indiana this weekend. Not exaggerating. This is a real headline. Quote, man accused of killing his wife wins Republican primary from jail. Dude is in jail on charges of murdering his wife. And he won his Republican primary for a municipal board in Indiana. He will be on the ballot in November unless he is convicted by then of murdering his wife. But being in jail on those charges wasn't a problem. If the Republican Party was a private company, their HR department would be blowing through all their overtime just this week. And, you know, things like this happen from time to time. You definitely get people accused of doing horrible things who nevertheless end up rising in politics, right? But this is an unusually dense concentration of them for this cycle for the Republican Party. Like, how many of these do we need before we start calling it this year's pattern? And it is absolutely stunning that the Republican Party is fielding all of these men accused of all of these horrible things involving women, that is happening in such an incredible concentration while the Republican Party this year is set to be running in the context of banning abortion. Right? In the wake of the leaked draft Supreme Court majority ruling overturning Roe versus Wade, the Senate Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, said this weekend that it's possible Republicans will pursue a federal nationwide abortion ban if the Republicans are lucky enough to take over Congress.